Hi, my name's sonyasunheart, and if you're new to my channel, I'd like to say hello. And I am here to share my embodied wisdom, which is my experience of mystical connection with the divine, with God, with Source. And I'd like to share where I'm at right now on my journey after having had a few awakenings. I believe we awaken in stages and waves. Sometimes they're major, such as a Kundalini awakening, and other times they can be glimpses of deeper awareness that can be in so many ways through psychedelics and ceremonies. It could also be through sexual experiences. It could be through merging with nature, breath work, pranayama, meditation, so many ways, so many ways. And this is why I am open to sharing some of the techniques that really helped me on my journey. And I would like to share them. And I would like to continue to expand my own consciousness and my own techniques. So I figured if I'm going to do it on my own, as I'm always doing, um, and sometimes a lot, and sometimes not often, I would like to share it at the same time and practice. And what came through for me was Kundalini. As a certified Kundalini Yoga instructor, I have my certification in that. I definitely benefited from that. And that was a time when I really needed it. I met my teacher on a park bench in 2009, in fall of 2009, after my mother had just passed over. Um, she died from cancer. And she walked by me, and I was upset that day. I guess it had just happened. I don't remember exactly the details, but I remember her walking by. She had this long hair, and she was dressed in linen white, and her name was Philippa. And she came and she sat next to me on the bench, and we started talking, and I shared with her that I had just lost my mom, and we had a little chat about things, life, philosophy. And she said that she taught at home this yoga class that was called Kundalini Yoga. I'd never heard of it. I had never really been into yoga or any of that. Um, she said it's once a week at her place, and I said, okay. She gave me her address, and I ended up starting to go there. We were only a small group of 3 or 4 students in her living room, and very powerful. A whole world was opened up for me. As anybody here has ever done Kundalini Yoga knows, these are extremely powerful series um, of kriyas, which a kriya is like, it's like a recipe, and there's different parts to it to create a whole experience. And the goal of yoga is to, move the body and create fluidity in the body. Now I've learned more and more about it as well, with the cerebral spinal fluid, and how that connects into the base of the neck and into the brain. And so very important that our spinal fluids are moving. And this is also linked with the fascia, if anybody studies that, which is the fascia is the what wraps around the muscles, and it's like a little very thin kind of little bag, but when it starts to stick or adhere to the muscles, that's when things start to atrophy, and people get you know different diseases, and they can't move as well. And so the fascia kind of allows the liquid in the body to keep moving, to be fluid. So it's all connected. And so this is why the science of yoga, Kundalini Yoga more specifically, for me, it's been my path since 2009. I was certified as a teacher in 2017. And I practiced these techniques. They're very good for people who have a tendency towards extreme experiences such as drugs or alcohol or addictions, different types of addictions. Why? Because they go to a certain extreme in the body, a polarity, and then it allows you in the middle to rest. And that still state after having tired out the body. Just one moment. My daughter wants to come in. I will pause and I'll be right back. Okay, so let me continue with the information that I was talking about, the cerebral spinal fluids, and becoming a certified teacher, all of this. Now, I did stop for a while, and one of the reasons was also the scandal of Yogi Bhajan and the whole thing that came out with using women is sexually, things like that. Like we heard about a lot of gurus in the world did that. And I was kind of, I lost a lot of respect for this guru, and I didn't really want to associate with it anymore. And so I was very disappointed in that. But I have to say that I can't eliminate all the benefits and the science behind this incredible, science of the body, mind, spirit, and the benefits it brings, and also the preparation for these coming times that we're in, the Aquarian age, which many say began in 2012, the Mayan prophecy, the Hopi prophecy, and these Native American prophecies also there's a lot of links with Native Americans, the star beings, the cosmic cycles of time, and also with the Kundalini Yoga and knowing themselves as, connected to the stars. And so this is fascinating me more and more, and I've been getting back to it. I've been coming to the information and the meditation telling me that I'm going to share more about why, because of the times we're in, and because yoga has become such a superficial kind of thing. I'm not saying it's very important to keep the body as, flexible and beautiful and radiant and super important. And the angles that we're using, that's what, in yoga, the mudras, the mantras, the pranayama, and then, as I said, the kriyas all together are very, very powerful. But in studios where you go for an hour and I've done a lot of different yogas as well. And I'm not here to compare or to say, I'm just saying what works for me. Because of the completeness of Kundalini Yoga and the focus being on rising the energy, specifically using breath work, and that's what pranayama is, and raising the consciousness, opening the third eye. When I read Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural, several years ago, I realized that that's what he was talking about. I was like, my God, this is Kundalini Yoga. Everything he is doing with, contractions of the sphincter, the the root chakra, and pulling it up and pulling your breath and holding your breath and bringing your visualization into whichever energy center that you would like to focus on. This is Kundalini Yoga. So I realized, wow, he's using, uh, which is amazing, because what we want is we want to heal people, we want to transform people, because we are in that time where, there's an acceleration of the awakening on the planet, and the cosmological cycle is closing out to begin the new. And the magnetic, it has to do with the magnetics, the sun, the sixth sun prophecy, the white sun, people call it as well. It's all happening right now. We are in this incredible portal of ascension. And so the Aquarian age for a lot of people is like, yes, it's a cosmic astrological cycle, but it's not just from the Piscean to the Aquarian, because we're closing out a huge 26,000 year cycle. And that's why there's prophecies about it, and the sun is emitting a lot of solar flares. We're entering another area in the galaxy, which brings in more and more photonic light from the central sun, the galactic sun. So this is the kind of stuff, I talked about on my channel since the beginning. And also the rise of the divine feminine, which is the heart chakra, which is the heart, the nurturing, the interconnectedness, the bridge between the three lower chakras and the three higher chakras. The bridge is right in the middle, there is the heart. And I also recently came through information on the 7 Hermetic laws. And there is that middle law, I believe, if I read it, but it is the heart chakra. It's the middle of the polarities of the duality also, between the masculine and feminine, between the pendulum, whatever, the 0 point within the heart. And I know when I had my own heart awakening explode into what I believe to be the sun, that's why I have changed my name to Sun Heart, because I had this experience through breath work of just merging with the sun and coming back into a body, but not the same as I was before. So this was another one of those mystical experiences. And I believe now, with all of the research I've done on the Christ, on the Son of God, and I'm going to link also information on this. There's Lisa Marie Kerr, who writes books about this, and the Christ oil, which is super interesting, which is also linked with the spinal fluid, the colostrum, the Claus, Santa Claus goes up the chimney and all that. There's been some information showing that these ancient technologies were coded into many, many texts, Gnostic texts. And so these teachings are extremely empowering, and you will never be the same again when you have these experiences. And for some reason, some people go through them spontaneously, others practice and focus, and then it happens. For others, it might not happen even as they're doing it. It might happen much later. I believe that everything happens for a reason, or nothing happens for nothing. But we need to just align with our soul guidance, our divine guidance, the God within. And so these meditations that I'm going to be offering I will be starting on summer solstice. So June 21st is a very powerful also portal, and there's white tantric going on all over the planet where people gather, dress in white, and do these things. So it's been going on for a long, long time, longer than we can probably imagine. Um, and so we're going to be connecting to the collective. And people will say, well, we need darkness and light and the contrast of that. And to some extent, that is true. But in the Hermetic principles as well, it talks about, yes, the law of correspondence, but the law that light always, when you bring light into the darkness, excuse me, I have some glitches happening. When you bring light into the darkness, I don't know why this is doing this right now. Not the first time I've had glitches on my channel, but I will continue. So the quality should be good. We're gonna get rid of any glitches. Okay, infinity. There we go. Take a deep breath. So, so of course, Star Nations, Native Americans, and all that, they know what's up, what's going on. And we get what we ask for. We can ask and we shall receive information, guidance, um, you know, to be in service in the best way possible here at this time. And I believe that, I've trained in so many things. I'm a heart math, coherence coach, breath of bliss, breath work, Reiki master. I've trained, I have certificates in tantra massage, I have certificates in many different fields, all to do with wellness, spirituality, consciousness, the body, the mind, and soul, spirit connection. And I'm always learning. It's nonstop. And sometimes I think I've been overdoing the studies. For some reason, I always feel like I don't know enough. I still need to learn. And that's fine because, yes, we will learn eternally. And we spiral into ascension and we keep going and it doesn't end. In dimensions, same thing. We might think there's an end to the dimensions, but probably it goes right, I don't know how many levels. There's different teachings on that. The Christos, Avatar, the 144,000. There's many different versions of that, and I don't want to overcomplicate it. So the thing with Kundalini Yoga is there are techniques, basic techniques that people need to be aware of before starting. The tuning in, we do a little chant, and the next thing would be the different types of breath and mul bandas and what else? Breath of fire, things that we need to know a little bit before. So I will go over those with everybody, how to pronounce some of the mantras, the sounds. And sound vibration is everything as well. We are, dancing photons of light. Photons is light, and we vibrate. Everything vibrate. Nothing, rest. Everything moves. So our cells, everything is in constant movement or vibration. So we don't see it, but this is what's happening. And as we know, cymatics, which is the science of seeing sound in water, sand, whatever different mediums, you could see beautiful mandalas, patterns that emerge. When they're in harmony, they look beautiful, like crystals, crystalline structures. When they're in disharmony or dis-ease, they look like cancer cells. They look like the opposite of life. Live evil, right? Fear, love, hatred, compassion, all these things that are opposites. We get to choose. We can have whatever experience we want or that we vibrate at. Sometimes we're not conscious that we're vibrating. Most people are not conscious of what they're vibrating. Therefore, they're attracting disease to them. They're attracting, um, situations that are not beneficial and are actually detrimental to them and to others. And at some point when you know you're one with all of it, you love yourself, you want to share that love, but that it's like teaching to fish. Instead of giving someone a fish, you teach someone how to fish. Meaning, what are the techniques to discover that self-love? How do you practice stillness and presence and know that you are God? Be still and know that you are God. So it's all there in the, for those with eyes to see, ears to hear, the time of revelation. We're in it right now. And I've felt and I've known that since, probably more 2012, which would be 12 years now. Um, and I've been doing my best to stick to the highest timeline that I can be part of, knowing that I'm always improving. Sometimes I'll slide back a few steps and then go back up. And, it's this dance of being human and divine and having old patterns and belief systems and reprogramming, your subconscious mind, the biology of belief. And um, there's so much, that's been, the information age is just exploding. And I've been studying this for such a long time, writing about it in my books and online and sharing through my YouTube channel and now a TikTok. And I see what's there. And, that's the thing. The people's attention span is very short now because of all these quick, fast tidbits of information and faces and people and opinions, and could be extremely overwhelming for the nervous system, for the mind, for the brain, actually, because the mind is something else. It's connected to the God self, but the brain is gathering all the information, whatever it can, and mixed with the ego, that can be self-defense or like a survival. So I have this book that I've been studying. It's called The Biology of Transformation. It's pretty scientific, but I'd like to include some of the science in what I'm writing about, as well as the experiences. So one of them more spiritual, and but they are connected. This is the thing. And our central nervous system really needs to be informed that it's safe and that it can trust itself, that your intuition, your tuning in to your God essence, to your soul speaking, you will not lead you astray. You'll always find your way. So, as within, so without, as without, so within. So what are we doing? We want to be one and merge with our God self, with our divine blueprint. Our DNA is all part of that as well. We can regenerate over and over again, but we were not taught this, and we don't yet fully understand the biology of transformation and the activation of the so-called dormant DNA in our bodies. What does that do? How are we tuning into that? And why is it being attacked? That's something else to think about, because the more you know about what's been happening these last years and how there seems to be an attack on the natural biology of humanity, whether it's through genetic modifications, the food, the air being sprayed, geoengineered, and the mRNA, which actually changes the DNA. So I think there's people who know the cycles and understand what's going on and understand that this is the time, the cycle of the Great Awakening. And there's been a type of battle um, to dim it, to stop it from happening. But I don't believe that that will be possible, because this is a God plan and God design. And it's through love that it's all created. And so when we come into the heart center and we live there and we know who we are, sovereign, divine, love beings filled with light, then nothing can stop this power. So I'm here as a teacher and guide in these times. I need to step up and share. And for those who want to join and practice and learn with me, because we will be learning together. I will teach and I will guide, but I will also be open to sharing times of discovery and community. I don't want community with just anybody, to be honest. I see that some people are ready and focused on their ascension, and others just, are not. And that's perfectly fine. But I'm here for people who are, ready, willing, and setting the intention to come together with others energetically through the heart center and to practice and experience and share. And as we do this, we're going to expand our consciousness, and we will co-create an energetic, powerful energetic field. And I'm also interested in, the whole star nations and galactics, and not separating this anymore. As we go into higher dimensional states of awareness and vibration and frequency, we will more easily be able to communicate and connect with higher beings. But all of this has to be done with the purest intention in our hearts. And there's no channeling or any of that. I prefer not. I just haven't connected with that, and I would rather not. I would rather just practice the teachings, and again, with the intention from the heart to up level, upgrade everything, speaking about the auric field and our energetic light bodies as well. This is not a competition of, showing off our abs and and that's all beautiful, but we're talking a merge of spiritual divine substance, and whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Sometimes you can expand even in weight, sometimes in water, And then other days where you lose 5 pounds in a day and you're like, I don't know why, but it's like my body's fluctuating. And that's perfectly fine. Like this is a safe place for us to explore and experiment with what is actually happening in this ascension. What are we experiencing, and yeah, and documenting it in a way for, because it's exciting. It's kind of a never seen before occurrence on the planet, that our humanity is shifting into something else, and the magnetics are changing, and our heart magnetics are super powerful. And who knows, I'm being guided to continue the practicing and teaching this for a higher reason that I'm not always super conscious of. Although later on I'll look back and say, oh yeah, that was perfect. And my goal is, or my intention is, to really merge my conscious subconscious and be more and more hyper aware and develop my psychic abilities, which are already activating. I have a lot of stories on that I'd like to share. Um, but clairvoyance, clairaudience, tapping into the Akashic field, all these things are not supernatural. I mean, they are for the old human perspective, but in the new cycle we're entering, it's going to become more and more normal. And so that's it. So I will show you the book that we will be using, the 21 Stages of Meditation. Okay. And it's going to be an interesting ride. I've already done one part of it, 1/3 of it, when I went away for a weekend retreat, and I was feeling blissed out and reconnected in a deeper way to my soul self. And I decided to not continue the other weekends, but continue the practices at home. And now I've decided that I would like to share these powerful meditations with whoever is feeling a call to join. Um, I'm not going to ask for money specifically, but by the end of the meditations, I would recommend that energetically, just as I do, is I do pay forward. And when I'm grateful for the teaching, the teacher, the experience, it's just natural, because this is the type of systems we're in. Until we are evolved to other systems, we still need these systems for now. So I am in a place of trusting that my service always comes back to me energetically or financially, and those who will benefit will give back with their hearts in gratitude, and energetically and financially things will continue to align. It's our sense of worth, our sense of everything always working out and finding solutions, because the God self always finds solutions. And developing our creativity is also what this is all about. So, and harmonizing all of the energy centers together. So this is all part of what we're going to be doing. And because we're going to be practicing together, we're going to have accountability, and we're going to, show up for ourselves and each other in this sacred container that I'll be creating. I will be posting videos on the preparation for the 21st, the solstice, and we will do ceremony together. I have done solstice ceremonies every year for the past 12 years. I'm either hosting them or I'm going to other ceremonies. I was told by Indigenous leaders that I am here to recreate the sacred circles and ceremonies. So that is part of my mission here. And I love doing that with cacao. It could even be with water, with teas, whatever, everything is divine and sacred, but we are the ones who set the intentions and bless things so that they have a loving structure and frequency within them. So we're going to learn how to do that with water, and because we are, you know, 75% water, and so is our planet. And so, again, as within, so without. And we are one with all of these sacred elements, elementals, and we're going to be going into all of this and the different planets and those frequencies and how they affect us and why do we connect with astrology in yoga. um, not going to go too deep into that, but we do have, again, it's frequencies and vibrations, and I have a gong here, and so we can test out the sound. If the sound is right, continue, and if not, I'll be playing some music. And we're gonna go into this sacred journey within, and we are then going to radiate it out from our magnetic hearts into the world and into the universe, and God knows where else these ripple effects will go. So thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. I hope you'll join us in the sacred container. If you're interested, please comment below and say interested or I'm in or something like that. And I will send you uh, um, the links, because I'm going to be doing this in a closed, so you'll get a link from me. I'm not doing this publicly. So I would recommend actually you send your email, so you can put your email under and say I'm in, or I want to join, or whatever your creative you want to express. And then we can get going for solstice. So stay tuned for these next few days. We're actually looking at 10 more days to the solstice. So I'll be posting in the next 10 days the preparations. So yeah, thank you. And namaste. The light within me sees and knows the light within you. Take care, everyone. Bye.